Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today we are back with another episode. It is Tuesday of the 365 Recap. I believe this is episode 11, 12, something like that. I've lost count at this point. But yeah, here we are on our weekly scheduled 365 recap episode. And obviously, it's a very, very special week across the United States of America and places around the world. It is Thanksgiving week. We have a huge weekend ahead. Thanksgiving on Thursday, Black Friday on Friday, a ton of sports across the weekend. And I am very excited. Thanksgiving's easily my favorite holiday, without a shadow of a doubt. And we're gonna watch some football. Let me tell you that much. But without further ado, before we get into this, if you guys do enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications for more content exactly like this. And without further ado, let's get right into this. As always, I know the ESPN landscape on that I show looks a little bit different today, a little bit discolored and stuff like that because I have a new dark mode add-on or I have a new dark mode extension for my browser. But same football as always. We had a big weekend in college football as we are winding down the season now. We have to talk about this past weekend and we have to preview rivalry weekend a little bit here as we go on. So, this past weekend in college football, we're going to talk about the top 25 games. Ohio State beats Rutgers at home 42-9. They are preparing for Michigan. Obviously, Ohio State, Michigan, the game, the best rivalry in sports, in my opinion, in the big house. So, Ohio State goes to 11-0. Texas A&M beats Samford 48-0. Obviously, SEC teams this weekend played a lot of weak opponents. Like here you see Georgia playing Charlotte at Athens 35-3. Georgia gets it done. The game of the weekend, college game day, was on site for this one. Dante Moore and the Ducks get past USC in Eugene, 42-27. Oregon goes 10-1. Their only loss being Indiana. USC goes to 8-3, 6-2 in the Big Ten. Mayava goes 25-43, 306 and three touchdowns, but it was not enough. As Noah Whittington goes 19-4 and one touchdown. Oregon goes to 10-1 and 7-1 in Big Ten play. Another ranked game this week. I think there's only two ranked games on the schedule this weekend, but your second of two ranked games. Oklahoma in Norman hosts Missouri. Missouri season's over at this point. 17-6. Oklahoma gets the win. They go to 9-2. They are pretty much 50-50 to get in the college football playoff at this point. We'll see if they end up getting in. We'll see what the committee thinks. But they get a gritty, grinded out win. Defensive game 17-6 at home. Notre Dame beats Syracuse 70-7. Obviously Notre Dame, another team that's in the driver's seat to get in the college football playoff, despite not playing in a conference. They go to 9-2. They won 9 straight since the 0-2 start. Alabama beats Eastern Illinois 56-0 at home. BYU and Cincinnati play a Big 12 matchup in UC. BYU gets it done 26-14, a rebound win for them. They get it done. Brendan Sorsby, not great for him, I guess, but the stat line at least showed some decent play. 25-38, 302 touchdowns. Obviously, BYU gets it done there. Kansas State and Utah, one of the under the radar games of the weekend. And it was a very good game nonetheless. 47-51 offensive slobber knocker. Kansas State goes in to Salt Lake City. Utah goes 9-2. They come from behind victory here. Kansas State was up like two scores at one point in this game, I think. But in the end, Utah made the comeback. They get the win 51-47. Miami beats Virginia Tech by 17 points, 34-17 on the road. Virginia Tech, honestly, looking forward to next season at this point. Hired James Franklin about a week ago. He is their future, replacing former Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry, which actually was defensive coordinator at Penn State for James Franklin. But it's a new era in VT, James Franklin time. They're waiting for their season to be over, but Miami gets it done 34-17. Carson Beck goes 27-32, 320, and four touchdowns. Malachi Tony has 12 for 146 and a touchdown. Kentucky and Vandy play a little bit of an SEC matchup in Nashville. Vandy gets it done 45-17. Diego Pavia, another very good game from him, 33-39, 484 in five touchdowns. Wells Richardson goes 6 for 159 and three touchdowns. Diego Pavia is looking very, very good. Pittsburgh goes on the road and beats ranked Georgia Tech with Haynes King and Brent Key. They look like frauds for a while, and they've officially shown their true colors these past few weeks. I mean, they got very, very grinded out wins. They were in close games with some pretty bad teams, And nonetheless, they were undefeated, but now they're starting to fall off the rails a little bit. Yeah, it's starting to really go downhill. Pittsburgh gets the win on the road, 42-28. Their head coach said before the Notre Dame game, it only matters in the ACC. Pittsburgh goes 6-1 in the ACC, 8-3. They get the win on the road, 42-28. Texas beats Arkansas 52-37. And pretty much Arch Manning's best performance of the season. Arkansas is winless in the SEC this year. I will give kudos to Arkansas. Obviously, interim head coach at this point. Probably the best 2-9 team I've ever seen in my entire life. Talon Green and the offense can go toe to toe with literally anybody, as they scored 37 points against this number 17 ranked Texas. But nonetheless, Arch Manning played very, very well. 18 for 33, 89, 4 touchdowns. I believe he had a receiving touchdown in this game. Didn't really watch this game in full, but 52-37, they get it done. Michigan goes into Maryland, wins 45-20. At this point, Bryce Underwood and Michigan are just looking towards Ohio State this weekend. Tennessee beats Florida in the swamp in an absolute killer, 31-11. Aguilar goes 17 for 22, 204, and 1 touchdown as Tennessee gets it done with Josh Heupel. Wisconsin, in a horrible, horrible season for them, they get a little glimmer of light. They beat in Wisconsin, in Madison, 27-10. They beat Illinois, who's ranked number 21 in the country coming in. Luke Altmaier does not have a very good game, and Wisconsin plays well on defense. They get it done. This was a little bit under the radar game going in, but TCU gets it done. TCU goes 7-4. They beat Houston 17-14. Houston was number 23 ranked coming in, and they lose the game. I mean, missed field goals galore, missed a game tying field goal. Houston's kicker did. TCU escapes with the win on the road. Connor Wayman did have over 100 yards rushing, though, I guess, so that's a positive for them. Tulane beats Temple on the road 37-13. And Arizona State beats Colorado 42-17. Colorado, they were out of bowl contention already, but they will not be making a bowl game this year for Coach Prime. But nonetheless, he had a good weekend with his son Shedeur Sanders. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes here. But previewing Rivalry Week. One of the best weeks the entire year. Thanksgiving weekend, we have Black Friday NFL, we have Black Friday college football, we have Thanksgiving football in the National Football League. We have a huge rivalry Saturday in college football, as well as a full NFL Sunday slate. Who has it better than us, really? But let's talk about college football right now. The Egg Bowl. Ole Miss, Mississippi State in Starkville at noon on Black Friday. That's your first game of the football slate on Friday. Good old fashioned rivalry there. We'll see Lane Kiffin's decision after this game. That's one thing. Lane Kiffin is officially going to be making his decision on his coaching future after this game. Will he go to LSU? Will he go to Florida? We'll see, but it should be interesting nonetheless. Utah and Kansas play in Lawrence, also at noon. This one's on ESPN. A game that was absolutely elite last year. Georgia Tech. These two went to, I believe, 8 overtimes, 9 overtimes last year. This was in the primetime slot on Black Friday last year. I remember watching that game and being absolutely in awe. But good old fashioned Georgia Tech rivalry, obviously. This game, I think Georgia's going to win it pretty handedly because Georgia Tech's reeling a little bit. They haven't been as good in the past few weeks, despite Haynes King putting in some good effort. But 3:30 on ABC. I'll be watching the NFL game over this, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be watching Bears Eagles over this, but this is a good game. Indiana and Purdue. Indiana is looking towards the college football playoff at this point. They should roll. Texas A&M, Texas. Here's a scenario. It's good old-fashioned rivalry. Obviously, this one's in Austin. Texas A&M win. You're in the SEC championship game. That's all it takes. Win. Your college football playoff lock. You're in the SEC championship game. There's nothing really else. Texas, you need to win this game to get a chance at the college football playoff. The committee's going to look over you if you lose this game. If Texas loses this game, obviously Texas goes to 8-4. They're out. They're not getting looked at. It's over. But Texas A&M has a lot to play for here. They want to spawn the SEC championship game. They want an automatic bid. They want that first round bye. That's pretty much the draw here. Arizona and Arizona State after dark on Fox at 9 o'clock p.m. Fafita versus Levitt. That's all on Friday. We have a big college football Friday, but then we go to Saturday. The game. Every single year, Michigan has won this, I believe, 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row. Ryan Day has never beat Michigan, I believe. This time it's Julian saying it's Bryce Underwood's the game's number 1 versus number 18. Never a dull moment in this rivalry. Michigan was unranked last year, and they still went into Columbus and won the game. This time it's in Ann Arbor. College game, they'll be on site in the big house for that one. We have Texas Tech and West Virginia. We have Miami and Pitt. That's a very big game in the ACC. That is a 12 p.m. Eastern game on ABC. Houston and Baylor, UCF and BYU, Oregon and Washington. I remember these two played a few years ago when it was Bo Nix and Michael Penix. They played two very good matchups in the regular season and the conference championship game. It's a Big Ten matchup. Washington just outside the top 25. Oregon, they're looking at the college football playoff at this point. LSU goes into Oklahoma. Oklahoma, you win, you're likely in. That's the thing. That's the draw here. They still have a chance at the SEC championship game, I believe. I believe they still have a chance to get a bid in the SEC championship game, but we'll see. Vandy, Tennessee, obviously not really much college football playoff implications here. Tennessee's out of it. Vandy, maybe. We'll see. Mizzou, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Virginia. That's always a big draw. Those two hate each other. This game, I'm not gonna lie, out of any of the college football games this weekend, you have Texas at A&M, Texas. You have Ohio State, Michigan. This might be the game I'm most excited for. You have number 10 Alabama. You win, you got a spot in the SEC championship game. You are a lock for the college football playoff. That's it. Traveling into Auburn, Jordan Hare Stadium, not an easy place to play. Not an easy place to play by any means with Auburn. Interim head coach with nothing to lose. This should be an absolute beauty in Jordan Hare Stadium after dark. Herbstreit and Fowler will be on the call for that one. That should be great. UCLA USC, obviously good old fashioned rivalry there. Northwestern Illinois, Charlotte and Tulane, and Notre Dame and Stanford after dark. Your good old fashioned Notre Dame and Stanford rivalry. What a beauty. But yeah, that is rivalry weekend ahead. We have a big weekend in college football coming up. It is winding down at this point. Next weekend, next episode of the 365 recap, we will already be talking about conference championship games. Then we'll be talking about bowl games. Then we'll be talking about college football playoff. And by the time you blink, it's gonna be the new year. We're gonna be talking about NFL playoffs, college football playoffs, and much more. And by the time it's gonna be over in snap fingers, so be where your feet are. Be where your feet are. I mean that. But now, let's talk about the top 25 rankings, and then we'll talk about the National Football League. And here is this week's AP Top 25. I mean, the top AP poll at this point in the year really doesn't matter all that much because the college football playoff rankings come out every Tuesday night, which they do tonight. But I mean, it's still good to look at, I guess. I record these mostly before the rankings come out, so that's why it's kind of sucks, but here it is. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia. Those are your top four. Three of them undefeated. The only three teams I believe in the nation, FBS Division One undefeated. So yeah, all three teams 11-0 there, followed by Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas Tech. Ole Miss didn't play last weekend, I believe. They played in the Egg Bowl this weekend, obviously. Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, BYU, Vandy. A bunch of teams there that haven't really moved. Miami, Utah, number 15, Michigan. No, hold on. If Michigan beats Ohio State, there's a chance that they can be in. There's a chance. There's a chance. Just leave it at that. Followed by Texas, Virginia, Tennessee, USC, JMU, which are putting up a really good fight, followed by North Texas. Those two teams, as well as Tulane. Actually, three teams in a row there that have a chance at that non-power four bid to get the number 12 seed in the college football playoff. So those are three really big contenders there with JMU, North Texas, and Tulane. I think North Texas is the best of those three teams. I think Drew Mestemaker is great. So yeah, Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, and SMU. Georgia Tech still above Pittsburgh after Pittsburgh just walked them down. That's kind of weird. But SMU at number 25, they sneak in there. Coaches poll, nothing really that interesting at this point in the year. Everybody really cares about the college football playoff rankings at this point. But yeah, it's going to be a big rivalry week in college football. We have the college football playoffs on the horizon. We have conference championship games next weekend. So watch out for that. Should be very, very interesting. But now, let's talk about this weekend. The NFL, let's talk about all that happened. Let's preview Thanksgiving week. Then we'll get up out of here. Week 12 in the National Football League was an absolute doozy. Absolute doozy, to be honest with you. We had some crazy games. We had some crazy defensive performances, as you could see on Thursday Night Football. We had some heartbreakers, for me particularly, and a lot more. Let's just say that. Let's talk about it right now. Last Thursday Night Football, a week before Thanksgiving exact, the Houston Texans get it done in NRG Stadium 23-19. Obviously, the story in this game was the Texans defense, as it always is with the Houston Texans. 23-19, they get it done. Davis Mills beats Josh Allen at home. Texans defense gets 8 sacks on Josh Allen. Josh Allen throws 2 interceptions in the end, game losing interception. And again, not really a good day for the Buffalo Bills coming off the short week with the win over Tampa Bay, where Josh Allen threw, or he had 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing. Did not rebound well. I mean, Buffalo gets the loss on the road. Houston is looking to be in the thick of it. Started very slow, started 0-3 on the season. They're now 6-3 since. Defense is playing very well. CJ Stroud is on the horizon. He has a really good chance to return this weekend against Indianapolis. So we'll talk about that more in a second. But yeah, Houston gets it done. My Bengals, another heartbreaking one, to say the least. We fall to the New England Patriots 26-20. Burrow is held out in this game. He does not play. Bengals defense, honestly, probably has their best performance this season. Definitely tackling wise. I mean, it still wasn't perfect. They still can't cover the tight end. They still have a tough time getting off the field on third down. It's still not a perfect unit by any means, but they're making progress at least. You can see it since the bye week in the Steelers game and the Patriots game now. They're making progress. Patriots go 10-2, hottest team in the National Football League. They're the first team to double-digit wins this year. Drake May almost goes for 300 yards. Does not have a 300-yard game yet this season, but he's getting there. And Chase Brown goes 19 carries, 107 yards. Who's the best player on the Bengals offense in that game? Yeah, I mean, the Patriots get it done. I picked against the Bengals in this game. Quick turnaround on Thanksgiving night. We'll talk about that more in a second. Steelers and Bears, one of the bigger draws of the schedule this weekend, but Chicago gets it done in Soldier Field, 30-1 to 28. After an 0-2 start, they are 8-1 since then. Caleb Williams is playing some damn good football. Let me tell you, 19 for 35, 239, and 3 touchdowns. Again, no Aaron Rodgers in this game, so it was a little bit of an asterisk on it. Mason Rudolph stepped in well. He knows the Steelers system. He knows Mike Tomlin's system, so that's not really surprising. But Chicago gets it done. They're the sole possession leader of the NFC North right now. You see Green Bay and Detroit looming. They will play on Thursday afternoon. But yeah, Chicago gets it done 31-28. They are 8-3 for 1 out. An overtime game in Ford Field, 34-27. The Detroit Lions get it done, and we have our first team officially eliminated from playoff contention in the New York Giants. Let me tell you though, let me tell you, they're eliminated from playoff contention, but Giants fans, keep your heads up. Jameis Winston is absolutely amazing. He is electric. He is hilarious, but he put up a good effort in this game. Caught a touchdown, 18 for 36, 366, and 2 touchdowns for him in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously the driving force of the Lions winning this game, as you can see. 15 for 219 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he is amazing. Detroit gets a much needed win because they were behind in this game for a big point. The Giants went up 10 at one point. They pushed the game to overtime. Detroit wins to overtime. 34-27. They get it done. The Packers without Josh Jacobs, nothing special. They get it done at home in Lambeau, 23-6. Emmanuel Wilson, their backup running back, 107, 2 touchdowns. As the Packers get it done, the Vikings offense just really has been sluggish in the past few weeks now. At this point, I mean, 4-7 is at 3 straight losses, I believe. Jordan Love didn't even have to really do much. It was Emmanuel Wilson in a dream. They got it done. The Seattle Seahawks go on the road and beat the Tennessee Titans 30-24. Honestly, I saw some Cam Ward highlights from this past weekend. He might have played his best game. Like Cam Ward was, he did all he could. I mean, you see guys like Chimere Dike getting involved, and Calvin Ridley's obviously done for the year. I mean, it's Alec Io Manor at this point. So Cam Ward really not has much to work with at this point. Mike McCoy, interim head coach. They're 0-6 in Nissan Stadium this year. Seattle gets it done. Obviously, everybody's calling them the Super Bowl contender at the NFC right now. JSN did his thing, 8 for 167 and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Seattle gets it done. Probably, maybe, possibly the best game of the weekend on paper going in, and The Chiefs get it done. 23-20. The Chiefs get a much needed win. You lose this game, go to 5-6. It's gonna get tough. It's gonna get tough. Your season's on life support at that point. But they come from behind. Mahomes does it again. They win in overtime 23-20. I'm not gonna really fault the Colts for this one. They put up a good fight. This game was in Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs, Mahomes came into this one knowing it's a must win. You got to give the Colts credit. They're still 8-3. They're still a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. The Chiefs had a plan for Jonathan Taylor. They shut him down. They did a good job. Colts lose to the Kansas City Chiefs on the road 23-20. Baltimore beats the Jets at home. It still has not really gotten going for Lamar Jackson. Not many people are talking about it, but they win 23-10. They win 23-10. That's the bottom line. A win is a win. Henry rushes for 2 touchdowns in a sluggish Ravens win. The defense does enough again. A ton of Ravens fans were calling for Zach Orr's head at the beginning of the year, and he's rebounded. Second year in a row. The Ravens defense looked very, very bad last year to start the season. They rebounded, gotten better over the year, and they were a Super Bowl contender by the end. Lost to Buffalo in the divisional round, but same thing here. Looks like they have a quick turnaround to play my Bengals on Thursday Night Football on Thanksgiving, but a few sluggish Lamar performances in a row now. He's got to get going. So, yeah. But the Ravens are winning. They've won 5 in a row. That's the bottom line. Shador Sanders and the Cleveland Browns give a 24-10 win in Las Vegas. Cleveland goes 3-8. I mean, Vegas, they're right there with the Tennessee Titans for the worst team in the league. Right there with the Tennessee Titans. Pete Carroll fires Chip Kelly on Sunday night. And Sunday night, Chip Kelly, he's done. He was one of the he actually might have been the highest paid coordinator in the league. He was made the highest paid coordinator in the league this offseason, and he's fired after not even one full year. So not good. Not good to say the least, but yeah, I mean, not good. Browns won 24-10. Shador Sanders was pretty good. He gets done. A sloppy game in Glendale. Let me tell you that much. 27-24, the Jacksonville Jaguars are keeping it alive, man. They really don't look like a playoff team. I've raved about Liam Cohen all year. I've liked the things he's done, but they have not looked like a playoff team. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, threw 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions in this game, maybe. He was not good. But in the end, Jacksonville escapes 27-24 in overtime. Brissett does all he can again. Michael Wilson goes 418 yards, his second really good game in a row. Jacksonville escapes. They go to 7-4. 24 unanswered points for the Dallas Cowboys. A comeback for the ages. They win 24-21 versus the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Philly blew the door open this game. They did. They went up 21-0. You saw Jalen Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. The Eagles offense was humming. A.J. Brown had the first touchdown in the game. They were up 21-0. It looked like hope was gone for the Cowboys. The Cowboys season over, this, that. Dak Prescott, George Pickens, Javonte Williams. Those 3 guys came alive. George Pickens is second in the league for receiving yards this season. He is having an all-pro type season. His career year and his first year in Dallas. He should get extended immediately. Jerry Jones, do not lowball this guy. 9 for 146 and 1 touchdown. The Cowboys offense is humming. Their defense really has looked better since they acquired Logan Wilson. Since they acquired Quinn Williams, they got DeMar Irvin over, show him back. They got Siobhan Revel, but they've looked better. Got to give it to them. Atlanta beats New Orleans in the Superdome 24-10. Kirk Cousins gets the win here. No Drake London, no Drake London, no Michael Penix obviously in this game. Atlanta goes to 4-7. Season still looking bleak at this point, but they get it done. An absolute beatdown on Sunday Night Football, 34-7. The Rams get it done in SoFi. Matthew Stafford, probably the MVP frontrunner now. It's shifting week to week. It's been Drake May, it's been Mahomes, it's been Jonathan Taylor, it's been Josh Allen, but right now, it's Matthew Stafford. I believe he's 38 years old or maybe 36. He's doing great things. That's the bottom line. Devontae Adams again touchdowns. Puka Nacua had 97 yards. Devontae Adams balled out. Stafford goes 20 for 35, 273, and 3 touchdowns as they get it done. And on Monday Night Football, another pretty sloppy game. Supposed to be a little bit better, but the Niners escaped 20-9. Christian McCaffrey, obviously the driving force of it again. 24-89, 1 touchdown. Catches the ball a lot in the backfield. They get it done. Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions this game, I think, or maybe it was 4. It was 3. It was 3 interceptions in this game. Um, not good. Not good for Brock Purdy, but Christian McCaffrey did his thing. The 49ers defense did his thing. Bryce Young wasn't very good. He threw a bad interception at one point. He threw 2 picks actually in this game. So yeah, it was not good. But yeah, that is your NFL Week 12 recap. Now, let's talk about Week 13 real quick before we get out of here. Thanksgiving week, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Packers Lions, big game in the NFC North. 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Chiefs Cowboys, big game. Interconference. Two teams that are really, really trying to get going. Loser of this game, their season's on life support. So, yeah. And Bengals Ravens. Joe Burrow is back. I'm gonna be delusional and keep saying we can run the table, even if it's totally delusional and dumb. But I'm gonna root for us to run the table. I am never gonna root for the Bengals to lose the draft position unless they are officially eliminated. And the bottom line is they aren't. Burrow knows they need to run the table. I was listening to his press conference today, so I'm excited to have a Thanksgiving night game. I've been waiting like literally years to have a Thanksgiving night game. I've been waiting to watch my team on Thanksgiving. They've only ever had one Thanksgiving night game in 2010 versus the Jets, and they were really bad. And they lost that game, and I was very, very young, so I didn't really watch that game. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. On Black Friday, Bears Eagles, two 8-3 teams, big NFC matchup. You told me this game would be this high powered at the start of the year. I would have called you pretty crazy, but they got it. 8-3 versus 8-3, big game on Prime Video. 49ers, Browns, Jaguars, Titans, Texans, Colts. Very big game in the AFC South. Those two teams still play twice. I believe Jacksonville still plays Indy twice, and Houston still plays Indy twice. So Indy still has a lot of big division games coming up. They play Tennessee twice. They still have Tennessee. I mean, they still have Houston to play twice. They still have Jacksonville to play twice. So they got some big division games coming up. So if Texans win this game, we can have some conversations. New Orleans and Miami, Atlanta and New York. Carolina and Tampa Bay. Bucky Irving expected to be back. We'll see about Baker Mayfield's health in this one. Obviously, went out in the Sunday Night Football game versus the Rams. We'll see. Los Angeles and Carolina in Carolina. Big game for the Panthers. They need to win this game to keep their season alive, unless they plan on keeping catching Tampa Bay for the division. Minnesota and Seattle. Darnold versus old team. Obviously, that's the draw on this one. Buffalo versus Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers will play in this game. Buffalo, they really need to win. Raiders and Chargers matchup number 2, rematch of the week 2 Monday Night Football game. Pretty mid Sunday Night Football game with the Broncos and the Commanders, 9-2 versus 3-8. Still no Jaden Daniels. He said he is planning to return the season though if he's healthy. But Denver's really just trying to continue their run. And you have the Giants and the Patriots, 2-10 versus 10-2. The Giants, as I said earlier, the first team to officially be eliminated from playoff contention. And yeah, New England, hottest team in the league. That should be interesting in Gillette. We're going to do something new this week. We're going to go over the NFL standings just similar to we do the college football playoff rankings. So now, let's go over the NFL standings going into Thanksgiving week before we get out of here. And here are your NFL division standings going into Thanksgiving weekend. We're going to do this every single episode from here on out. Since it's getting to crunch time now in the NFL season, we're getting to playoff time. We are getting to division clinching scenarios, playoff clinching scenarios. The Giants officially eliminated last week. So we are getting to crunch time in the National Football League season now. We are officially at Thanksgiving. But AFC East, New England Patriots are leading it at 10-2. AFC North, Baltimore is 6-5. That's a very, very tight race between them and Pittsburgh right now. Hopefully my Bengals can come back and run the table and go 9-8, but we have like a 1% chance to do that. So yeah. Indianapolis still leads the AFC South at 8-3, followed by Jacksonville at 7-4. Houston at 6-5. That division is not locked up by any means. Denver leads the AFC West. They're looking to run away with it. They're 9-2. They play Washington this weekend. Philadelphia still leads the AFC East, 8-3, despite the loss to Dallas, who's 5-1. We're looking at potentially our first repeat champion in the NFC since 2004, maybe, when Philly did it multiple times. But Giants 2-10. They officially have that E next to their name. NFC North, Chicago Bears going into Black Friday. They're leading the division right now, followed by Green Bay at 7-3-1, Detroit at 7-4, yada yada yada. Tampa Bay is leading the NFC South at 6-5 right now, followed by Carolina at 6-6. And the NFC West, very, very competitive division. Rams 9-2, Seahawks 8-3, and the Niners 8-4 in a very, very tight race in the NFC West. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video, today's 365 recap episode. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications for more content exactly like this. We'll have more. Obviously, we'll have game picks tomorrow. that's something different this weekend. Because Thanksgiving Thursday, obviously, we usually do game picks on Thursday afternoon, but we will have game picks tomorrow. Change of schedule. Same thing will happen on Christmas week when Christmas is on a Thursday later in the year, but game picks will be tomorrow night. This will be going up later tonight. I'm recording this at 4:30 right now. This will be going up later tonight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Game picks tomorrow, week 12 or week 13, actually, Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, see y'all next time. And as always, go Bengals.